One cuckoo full of basket. That is what me mama say. And where there's a will, my brother, there must be a way. Life is real, you cannot fake it. We all have a part to play. In spite of the odds, my sister, you can run away. Some people got everything while some people got none. But never give up in spite of your situation. I know you could make it. You could make it if you try.
Brother, you could make it.
And I wouldn't tell you no lies.
Sister, you could make it.
Don't care how hard it may seem.
Brother, you could make it.
Keep on holding on to your dream. In spite of the stumbling blocks that might stand in your way. If you put your faith in God, they're bound to fade away. I know you could make it. Keep fighting for a worthy cause.
Brother, you could make it.
And the victory will be yours. Lord, oh Lord, African lady. Lord, big man love you. Big man love you. Big man love you. I man love African lady. Big man love you. Big man love you. Big man love you. I man love. Oh na na na. All my love is for you. Yeah. Sometime when I feel sad and lonely, na 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 na, lady, you give me love and make me happy. Na 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 na, lady. I know many times I've done things that bring water to your eyes, but I know it's wrong, so now I apologize. African lady, no, King man love you, King man love you, King man love you, I man love, yes I love African lady. King man love you, King man love you, King man love you, I man love. There's no other one like you. Oh mama, oh mama, oh mama, oh Makata, Makata, Wusi, Makata, Lord, Lord, I love you, woman. You are the one who be my children. Na 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 na, lady. You always try your best to care them. Na 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 na, lady. You're the mastermind of a strong and happy family. You're the sole protector of my legacy. African lady, Lord, King man love you, King man love you, King man love you, I man love. Tell you again, African lady, King man love you, King man love you, King man love you, I man love. Lord, Lord. Now you Makata, Wusi. You're the lily of my valley, my lady. Oh, Makata, Wusi, Makata. Lord, woman, I love you. King man love you. King man love you. I know I love you. King man love you. I man love. Yes, the king man love and the king man love you. King man love. Like the king Solomon and Sheba. Yes, the king man love you forever. Makata, oh Makata, woman I love. King man love you. King man love. Woman I love. King man love you. I man love. Woman I love. King man love you. King man love. Woman I love. King man love you. I man love. Want you know, want you know, want you know I love. Lord, Lord, Makata, Makata, Makata. Comment ça va, Mama Ken? Land of roots and culture. Oh, Mama Ken, Makata. Oh, Masaka, Mama. Mama Ken, Ele. Mama Ele. Come de kwa Mama Ele. Mama Ele. Mama Ken, Ele. Mama Ele. Come de kwa Mama Ele. asa. Bese, bese. Bese, Angie, bese, bese. Teach them roots and culture, Tiba. Jinga, jinga. Teach them to play the drums. Teach them. Alafia. Mama Mary, where you gone? So many sons and daughters of whom we are so proud. You always show your colors at home and abroad. Over and over you keep on making history. Island reaches a shining star for all to see. And whoever thought it would be Edson Mitchell MB. Mama Kanaele, Mama Hele, Mama Neto Mama Kaele, Mama Hele, Mama Kanaele, Mama Hele, Mama Neto Mama Kaele. Hey, lyrics, bese, bese.
Alafia, oh mama can. Alafia, oh mama can.
Bese, Gansi, bese, bese.
Alafia, oh mama can.
Madam, madam.
Yes, and a good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, the rest of you listening throughout the Eastern Caribbean, wherever you are tuned in. It once again is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'm here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour.
Bese, bese, bese. Ragsy, Ragsy. Bese, bese.
We are indeed sorry for the late start, and we do apologize for the listeners who usually join us via Real FM and We Noise Radio. Our link is down.
Bese. Gino, bese, bese. Bese, smart.
So I do not believe they may be carrying tonight's program unless they use a secondary method. I do not think they would be on with us tonight.
Bese.
So I think it's just us, the online crew tonight.
Okay, allez. Okay, allez.
Alafia, oh mama can.
Neighbor boy, neighbor. Kukoso. La 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 la. La 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 la. I woke up in a special way this morning. I don't know why I feel this way this morning, but something really touched my soul this morning. Something precious more than gold this morning. Morning neighbor, hear me, I scream and shout, what's the matter? She asked me what it's all about. Something burning deep within my soul. And this feeling, I just can't control. I don't know if it's real, but I want.
Sorry about that. Yeah, just making sure everything is going all well and okay there. Yeah, because I'm hearing a song in the background, and I don't know why. Yeah, although I try to get rid of that song, I ain't getting rid of it. Attempting all kind of thing, and yeah, it just ain't going. But we'll see what we can do to get rid of that noise here, but we're going forward with the program. I hope you all are hearing me okay. Let me see. Yeah, where's Chris London? We're looking for Chris London. Chris London, anybody know who was the person that posted under the YouTube as Chris London and has any information as to where or what is up with the individual? Yeah, that's usually our marshal or drill sergeant on the Talking Points YouTube on a nightly basis. And we have been missing our drill sergeant for the longest while. And we want to know what's going on with our drill sergeant. We are not seeing them. Yeah. So good night to all of you joining us under the YouTube, all of you joining us under the Facebook. We say a special good night each and every one of you. And let me say a very special good night to the Carriacou and Petit Martinique family. Yeah.
To tell the world how I feel. You should love them.
Just roughly about 3 weeks away from the anniversary of the devastating Hurricane Beryl. Yeah.
Thyself, I sing, and put an end to violence today. Help your fallen brother by the way.
I see a question from one of the listeners here. I'm going to go into that one early because it's already 18 past 8. And folks, the phone lines are open. You can call at any point in time. Feel free to call. It asks, please ask the question for the citizens of Petit Martinique. Who are the real members of the Build Back Better, and when will there be a serious meeting to address the burning concerns of the citizens of Petit Martinique regarding Hurricane Beryl? Another hurricane was formed today in the Pacific Ocean. Yeah? And the people of Petit Martinique, up to today, the 9th day of June 2025, not a single Build Back Better house has been handed over to anybody in Petit Martinique. And don't talk about the prefab. All the prefab, they keep it on Carriacou. They didn't bring any of the prefab here. They may be bringing one over or whatever now. But as it is right now, so far as the information I have, no houses. And we heard it from the minister himself as well. No houses have been handed over in Petit Martinique, yeah?
And surely we will see a bride.
In fact, it might be nice for us to hear from one or two of you in Petit Martinique tonight, eh? Yeah, one or two of you in Petit Martinique. Even if you don't want to call on air, send me a message. Yeah, send me a message and I'll read it on air for you. Nice, yeah. This one is saying, yeah, right. So good night, right? They see 2 Coaster bus and 3 tuk-tuk, 1 small bus and 3 cars. At first they thought it was an accident. That's why the vehicles was coming in. Then you see one in an NDC t-shirt. So I said, well, that was the two. So the two, okay. I started paying attention. One bus had 6 people. That was right in front of me. The other one, 3 rows was empty. I didn't know if the people drop out or they take a next route. When they reach golf course, they stop blocking traffic. And I can't pass, so I start blowing my horn. A few minutes after, the bus pulled on the side and I passed them. Oh, so you're talking about the bus store? I go in bus store. Listen, you all may find this statement to be very strange. I would like the MP for the South to do more bus tours. I don't want him to stop. I would like him to do more bus tours. Yeah? And I want to speak to the people of St. John tonight. After you looked at the MP for South St. George, do you think that your MP has done anything that warrants giving her another opportunity to be your MP? And when you match up 6 months of Alvin Dabrio, any 6 months, choose any 6 months between 2013 to 2022, even during COVID, of Alvin Dabrio, choose any 6 months and match it up against the entire nearly 3-year period of the present MP, and you would recognize that in 6 months, Alvin Dabrio has done more than that MP has done in the whole 6 months. And the same goes for if you look at St. Patrick, East and West, if you look at any part of St. Andrew, yeah, even if you look at St. David, you match up 6 months of the new National Party compared to the present MP in those areas, and any 6 months of the NNP, more has been achieved in any one of those constituencies than has been achieved in the 3 years of the National Democratic Congress government. And that's a factor. Yeah, that's a fact. That's something that we could go and we could double check and we could prove.
Neighbor, 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 love thy neighbor. Neighbor.
So remember the phone number 1473-440-7377. Yes, you can call us on the WhatsApp.
Neighbor,
Pastor Lois saying a special good night to you.
neighbor.
Patricia and Matthew out there in Alberta, Canada, saying a special good night to you. My good friend Ian, who I've not heard from for a long time, but I'm pretty sure he's listening. Good night to you, Ian.
Neighbor, love thy neighbor.
No, it's not all the time you get the opportunity to call, but I know you're listening. Fatman George, good night to you. And we say a special good night to all our listeners down there in Florida, no matter which part of Florida you are, our loyal Floridians who listen to our program. No, we're not speaking about Florida in St. John. Yes, good night to you all as well. But Florida, USA.
In love, oh neighbor.
And also we say a special good night to all of the listeners in the New York area, wherever you are, Long Island, wherever you are. We say good night to you.
Come, come, come.
And our Texans, the Texas listeners, those literally hundreds, probably even thousands of Grenadians that are out there in places like Houston. We say good night to all of you. Those of you truckers on the road, North Carolina, good night to you. Washington, D.C., yeah. Maryland, good night. California, good night to you all. Hey, I haven't said a good night to my good friends out there in Arizona for quite a while. I know that you all are locked in. Good night to you all.
Let the whole world know this
Hoping to see you all back on island soon.
morning. This morning.
Good night to you, Mr. and Mrs. Watts.
'Cause I never felt
Martin and Ms. V, good night to you.
this way before.
Yes, Martin McDonald, good night to you, bro.
This morning.
Good night to Nabes right across the road. Yeah, I know she's listening, and I know her neighbor is with her listening as well.
I don't know if it's just a dream. This morning. This morning.
So yes, folks, as I said, I want the MP from the south to do more bus tour. Yeah, don't make that the only one, you know. Yeah, don't make that the only one. Do more bus tours, please. I beg you, do some more bus tours.
But it really makes me want to sing this morning. Little children, hear me, come gather round.
Don't just do it and broadcast it too. Make sure.
Oh, my children, I beg you, hold on in hand. Are you ready to sing a song of peace and be happy? In a
Good night to you, Stephanie, John, and family. Antonito, I see you. Edmund, Khalees, Patrick Roberts, Dale Francis, Agatha John, Teresa John. Good night to all of you. Hope all of you are having a wonderful time. We've got a caller online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Scott.
Good night, my dear.
How are you?
I'm fine.
I just call in with a concern. You know, I want the government or the police to try and intervene on this drone stuff, because you have people that using drone or they buying drone and intervene in people private place.
Mm-hmm.
Last night I was sitting on my veranda with my parents and my family, and we had a visitor. So one of them draw my attention and they said to me, look, you have look a light through the bush there. So I said, what light? So I leave and I go on the next side of my veranda to pick up something, and I really see the person, the drone, they right in, they looking, they right to set into my veranda, you know, sitting, listening. I don't know if they're listening or if what they viewing and we think whatever.
Drones do have the ability to listen. Yeah, they can record your conversation or listen live. Yeah.
Okay, so I have this thing I just put along on my veranda, And when I pull it on, it just disappear. I sit and look on the next side and it just disappear. So I asking people, please, why they are using these things to intervene in people private property, people private place, people private home. This thing was meant to be for other things, not people private home. Eh? Why they are doing these things? This is not a nice thing to do. Going in and people just sitting in your house and go to listen to people conversation and going in people private conversation. Why they are doing these things? So that's my concern tonight. I want they really to try to see if they could crack down on these things and try to stop these things they're doing. It's not nice. Why we come like that in Grenada? Because I realize that I used to hear this thing falling on my house. If I go on this side of my house, the thing go. They go on that side, the thing go. Now I realize is that what happening?
Okay. My friend, I must say to you that it is an extremely valid concern. We have had situations where, for instance, Ms. Jenny Simon has been complaining for several months in relation to the invasion of her privacy by various drones. In fact, she had a visit from one recently again. They started showing up at her residence again. And to hear that this is happening to you as well, and I'm pretty sure that there may be many other persons this is happening to who have not called or said anything much about it, but they're seeing the lights, or it may be happening and people don't notice.
People don't notice. And lucky thing we did that visitors they come that we could have recognized because they was doing it all the time. So that visitor had to come yesterday so we could have recognized that it's happening, you know.
Because you could be inside, you could be in your bathroom, and as we know how bathrooms are constructed, there's always a little window there. We don't know if they're flying a drone around by it while you're in your bathroom. We don't know if when you're in your bed, they're flying a drone there in your bedroom. We don't know if when you're in your kitchen, wherever they're flying drones. We don't know.
Since last year, I was in my bedroom and I seen this light like in the night right down on my window. Right down on my window. I look at the camera, we try to take pictures of it, and I seen it right down on my window. I seen the light bright. When I turned, so I seen the light, and I tried to pull the blind a little, it move off.
Now, what I would suggest that you do is that you go to the nearest police station and make a report. Anytime anything like this happens, not just you, but anyone that has a situation like that. Anytime there's a drone that's in or around your property, monitoring your movements, please take note of the time. If you could snap a picture, I know not everybody capable of doing it, but if you could snap a picture, try to snap a picture of the drone that's being used. Look around, see if you're seeing anybody, but make note of the time is important. Look around, see if you see anybody that might be operating it, because sometimes they might be able to line of sight. You might see the person operating it. It might be a distance off, but you might be able to see them. And make a report to the nearest police station that this is happening. Make a report, especially if you're having multiple occasions. Make a report to the police, and when you make the report, take a note of who is taking the report. Officer so-and-so is the one taking the report. Make a note of that. And the time that you made the report. So that if anything happens down the road, you know that you informed them that this was happening, and so on and so forth. Save yourself. But I fully agree with you that there needs to be some sort of law or some laws that are amended. I know that there was one that dealt with aspects of drones in the past. I can't remember how far back. But I remember something coming with drones to Parliament before. Not during my time, but during the NNP time, something did come. And I know there was one that dealt with you having to license your drone. So once you purchase a drone, you are supposed to license your drone. And I'm trying to remember if it was with the Airports Authority or if it is with the police force. But no drones, people can't just have a drone. It's supposed to be licensed. The same way that you license your vehicle or you license people who have firearms have to go and license it. The same with people with drones. They're supposed to license. Doesn't matter the size or the capability. They're supposed to license them. And then there are laws that ban them from flying within certain distance from the airport and the areas that the planes fly, because we've had problems before in Grenada where we could have seen the loss of significant amounts of life, not with drones, but with kites. People were flying kites, and they were flying kites in the lane where the planes come in and land and take off and so on. They were flying kites and were slacking it into that area. And you had 2 instances in the past where planes had to return because kites end up getting tied up on the engine. Yeah? So when it comes to drones, we can have a similar situation. So I agree 1,000,000% with you. There needs to be legislation that deals with drones and drone technology. In the same way, there needs to be legislation that deals with artificial intelligence. But that's a longer one we're going to speak about.
Yeah.
All right, my dear. So thank you so very much for your
Yes.
call.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much.
Great.
Bye.
And folks, the caller is making a very, very valid point there. There is a situation that you're aware of. You've heard on multiple occasions. We've heard Jenny Simon speaking about the situation where drones are being flown around her property, flown to her veranda. They're coming close to her veranda and so on. Yeah? And not everybody's a marksman like me with a slingshot. Yeah, make me look a slingshot. Go and get me truck tire and my red rubber and cut a fork in a tree and take out a tongue in a shoe and make a slingshot. And when they come wrong, them pooks. Yeah, you fly your $100 drone, I will make me $5 slingshot, I'll knock it out. Yeah, but on the serious side though, there needs to be some serious legislation that deals with emerging technology. And that particular one is a very important one that needs to be dealt with. We've got a caller online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Sheldon Scott.
Hey, how you do?
I'm good.
All right, go right ahead, man.
All right, I have 2 points to make.
All right.
My first point, my MP for St. David. Me and she will have a walk around in Mongozo this afternoon. A lot of people complaining, plenty people complaining in Mongozo.
Yeah, partners, let me show you a scene. When you and the candidate walk an area, right? Yeah. Don't come and report it on here because you're telling the people and them where they have a problem to go there and try and fix it.
Okay. Nice.
You understand, man? You do it already, so I'm just warning you not to do further. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Thank you very much for that.
All you had to say is all your walk and the response was nice. But when you start to say what was the issues, you're basically doing the work for the other side.
Okay. So yeah, we walk around and people they're talking bad. They're talking very bad about it. Talking very bad on that party.
Okay.
So next time, I know what we are doing next time.
Okay.
We have some work to do, and we'll do it. We will do it. I team up with her, and we'll do it.
All right, my brother.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, you too. You enjoy yourself. I enjoy your program.
Thank you very much, bro. Janelle Mason, good night to you, my dear. Hope you're having a fabulous night tonight. Yeah. Listen, and I see comments, police ain't doing nothing. But the thing is, what can police really do? I am sure that the police have the technology to do certain things. To be able to trace a drone that was in a location at a particular time, I do not believe they may have the technology to do that. But what can happen is if I am having constant visits, so there's a drone that comes around today at, let's say, 3 p.m. it came around. And then 11 tonight I realized that drone is back peeping through my window. But I've made a report about the 3 p.m. When I call and I make the report that, look, there's a drone outside there now, I expect the police to be able to come and deal with that situation. I expect them to be able to come and either try to get the drone, where you might be able to get certain information off of it and so on. And I think in the same way that you license other things and drones are to be licensed, that if you find a person with an unlicensed drone, then we need to charge them. Yeah? It has gone past the stage of just being a hobby. It is a necessary tool for multimedia companies and so on. It is a necessary tool for various other aspects of like agriculture. They use drones for agriculture. They use drones in the security forces. The police themselves, they have drones. Yeah, they have drones themselves. The media companies, GBN, MTV, GIS, they have drones as well. Some of the smaller companies that do things like funerals and so on, like Mikey Live, T&R Communications, Just Cool, they have drones. So they all have drones that they use in a professional capacity. But then you have many people that might throw a drone in a suitcase and just come into the country with it, and they have it there, and they're using these things for nefarious purposes. So your daughter in the room changing, and you have some person that's perverted enough to have a drone outside that is trying to tape what's going on inside there. And then you see things ending up on the internet, and you're wondering how, and that is how these things are taking place. As such, since it is being misused, I believe that we need to have firm legislation in place that deals with this. We also need to have firm legislation in place that deals with artificial intelligence, because already we are seeing the way that artificial intelligence is being used by some in Grenada. You're seeing people's face end up on bodies that ain't theirs. You're seeing all sorts of things. And I believe that sooner rather than later, you're going to have people that might even commit suicide because they are being accused of doing things that they have not done, because people decided, some person decided, to use artificial intelligence in a nefarious manner and place their face onto a body that's not theirs, or to place their voice into a conversation that it was not in, and you're going to end up with a problem. That is why the Royal Grenada Police Force, instead of bothering to tap Emlyn Pierre's phone, to tap the phones of senior members of the New National Party, and even of police officers whom you suspect of being supportive of the New National Party, and tapping the phones of people who are in the media to try and see who their sources who are giving them information is. Instead of utilizing the technology and the training that you all have to try to get into people like myself, our laptops and so on, to try and find who is contacting you, who is speaking to you and that sort of thing. Use the technology to go and find those who deal in drugs, bringing guns into the place, and using drones in the wrong way. That is where your focus ought to be. When you see nonsense like some so-called newspapers out there talking about, oh, you mustn't talk about that, the police following you and this kind of thing, it is because there are better uses of the police time, and the New National Party isn't hiding anything when they have meetings, you know. You don't have to send anybody in plain clothes there, because the New National Party is putting everything out. So you don't have to send no plain clothes, and you could send them, there is no problem if you're sending them to secure the leadership. But we know all the main thing is to Mako. And if Mako ain't coming from the leadership of the country, remember, close to the last general elections, what you had, the same situation. You see, people just forget. Close to the last general election, and I'm talking about during the campaign season itself, you had drones being flown around the Prime Minister's residence. You had that situation where there were individuals that were flying drones around the Prime Minister's residence at various times. You know what there was Mako in, what they was trying to see. Maybe they're trying to see who was going to see the Prime Minister, that sort of thing. So there needs to be some sort of legislation that's put in place to deal with this. And the technology that exists within the Royal Grenada Police Force needs to be utilized in a proper manner. And I'm warning, yes, I am warning. If the technology is not being used in the proper manner, there will be consequences to your actions. Speaking directly to those of you in the RGPF that are the ones whose finger is on the button. If the technology is not being used in the proper manner, you all will be held responsible. Yeah? Not by the NNP, you know, by the courts. Because some of us, who are the ones who are under the investigation and the this and the that, are the ones that are going to drag you all into court. All right? Go continue doing all you're doing, Papa. Continue doing all you're doing. Go right ahead. Yeah? 1473-440-7377. 1473-440-7377. That is the number. Irvin, I saw a message from you. I will address that tomorrow night, hopefully tomorrow night, because the thing is, there is a meeting that is due to take place tomorrow. Let me just pull up the meetings and so on here. There is a meeting that is due to take place tomorrow, and I wanted to make sure that I had that covered as well. And also I have the promos for various activities that are coming up. I want to make sure that I play all those for you. And I also have a message here from the leader of His Majesty's Opposition. So let me just go over these quickly with you before we go into any more phone calls for tonight. And I haven't seen any messages complaining about the voice and so. I haven't seen any messages complaining about the volume and the voice and things so far. All right, yeah, all I need to do is get some rechargeable batteries. Yeah, I had to go and find some rechargeable batteries because we run the possibility of the batteries going dead during the show. Yeah, so I have to make sure that I get that aspect of it sorted out. So yeah, let's go to the meetings. All right, folks. So this one is let me go to the first one first. Right. So tomorrow evening from 6:30 p.m. up there in St. John, Florida, the New National Party will be having one of its public meetings. And of course, the team is going to be led by our political leader, the Honorable Emlyn Pear, our leader of His Majesty's Opposition and MP for St. Andrew Southeast. Along with her will be Chairman of the New National Party, Honorable Dr. Keith Mitchell, former Prime Minister and Member of Parliament for St. George Northwest. The Honorable Clarice Modest Cohen, the Member of Parliament for St. Mark, Mr. Alvin Dabrio, caretaker for St. John, and Amanda Japal George, caretaker for St. Andrew Southwest. So that's taking place tomorrow from 6:30 p.m. As usual, you know, once it is available, I haven't confirmed yet, but once it is available online, we will be broadcasting via Talking Points right here. And then at the end of Talking Points, as we always say, if they finish by 9, we set up, we'll go with the program. If it goes past 9 o'clock, then it doesn't really make sense. You know, you're coming on air just for a few minutes, really. So, and then on Thursday, there's another public meeting. This one, they're moving to Carriacou at Leicester Cross Road. All right, the Honorable Emlyn Pear, together with Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, Honorable Clarice Modest Cohen, Senator the Honorable Norland Cox, and the Honorable Kate Lewis Peters will be there in Carriacou, along with others, to bring you the message of the New National Party. So that's taking place this Thursday, Carriacou and Petit Martinique Massive, from 6:30 p.m. this Thursday out there in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. It's going to be that public meeting. And again, once the link is available, we will be bringing that meeting to you. The St. George Northeast Women's Committee, remember they have that breakfast sale coming up next week, Saturday. Well, not next week, Saturday. This Saturday. Yes, the time is going so quickly. This Saturday. And costs only $10. That's taking place at Nick's Shop in Bolio starting from 6 a.m. So go on out to that one. It's the New National Party, St. George Northeast Women's Group. Good night to you, Nimrod Oliver. And the St. George Northwest Youth Group, they're having their barbecue this Saturday as well. So you're getting breakfast in the Northeast, you're getting your lunch in the Northwest. All right, they're starting from midday by the Happy Hill Post Office. And they're going to have music and drinks, and you're just telling me, come, just say Sheldon, come up. All right, $20 price. That's the St. George Northwest Youth Group. They're having their barbecue, and that is taking place at midday on Saturday. So you get your breakfast in the Northeast, and you go and you get your lunch, up in the Northwest. All right, and let's just go to the next one here. That's the New National Party New York Support Group, an exquisite affair, an evening of elegant style and class, Saturday, June 21st, 2025, from 9 p.m. Music by DJ Small, close tickets only $100, and of course you're going to wear formal attire, prepare to dance. Don't come in the shoes that you can't dance and thing. Next thing you have to take off shoes to dance barefoot. No. Come in the shoes you could dance and thing too, right? They're going to have nice entertainment, and so nice. It's going to be taking place at the Carriacou Hall, 1963 Utica Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11234. And for tickets, you can contact Aisha Olivier, Kathy Albert, Wendy McGuire, P.D. Francis, and Sharon Cisa. And of course, in attendance, you're going to have Chairman of the New National Party, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, former Prime Minister. You're going to have the Honorable Emlyn Pear, the political leader of the New National Party, together with the Deputy Leader, Senator the Honorable Norland Cox. And you may see a Rastaman in between the mix too. You never know. Yeah, you never know. All right. St. George Northwest constituency, they're having a breakfast and barbecue luncheon event. That's taking place at the end of the month down there. Yes, Saturday, June the 28th at the Bush-Jesu playing field from 7 a.m. until $20 each. And they're going to have music and drinks on sale. So, folks, we're looking forward to that one, breakfast and barbecue luncheon. So, St. George Northwest having a barbecue. The youth arm having a barbecue on Saturday. And then the executive, they are having a barbecue and luncheon on the 28th. So, right, you're looking forward to that as well. And you know, Kelani, yes, we had to support Kelani, right? You have the numbers there, the Grenada Cooperative Bank. And, of course, next credit, Grenada Cooperative Bank, or you could put a little something on the account too, you know. Yeah. Or you could put, after all the fees, a little charge and thing. We know a little help out people in and between, help out this child. So outside of us going in and put a little 10, 25 when we couldn't think, or you could put a little something on the account too, man. Yeah. Nice. All you know the account number for Kelly George. Right? So put a little something to Grenada Cooperative Bank. We calling all you out. We telling all you put something too. Next Credit Union, same with all you. Yeah. All you know the mother account there, put a little something. Yeah. And let us know when all you put it in. Right. Put a little something and help the situation, man. Right? Nice. Beautiful. Yes, that's Kelani there. And indeed, you know, we have to go to the ad for our good friends there. But you know what is happening here is that I have that muted. So let me sort that out before I play that ad, right? Let me just get that sorted here. Nice.
445-4463. Or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com. WeNoise TV, the leading streaming provider. Anytime, anywhere, any screen. Access to your favorite HD contents with prices as low as ever. Choose from monthly, quarterly, or yearly payments. This worldwide service is flexible for you to keep up with all your favorite programs, shows, movies, and local programming from home no matter where you travel to. Worldwide TV channels right at your fingertips wherever you are. Latest in live sports, binge watch all your favorite TV shows, movies on demand, videos on demand. You can pause, rewind, fast forward anytime. Never miss 1 minute in entertainment important to you. No contracts, no added prices for sports or premium packages. We certainly don't have to pull tricks like cable and satellite companies. Our product speaks for itself and beyond. WeNoise TV. We have everything like Netflix, Disney, Amazon. Watch your favorite movies, TV shows, and series with our services. With our service, you will get rid of all other subscriptions. For more information, contact WeNoise TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com.
Yes, indeed, folks. So, yeah, you could get that service from WeNoise TV. And, you know, at this point, I also want to play a message by leader of His Majesty's Opposition, the Honorable Emlyn Pear. Yeah? So, let me play this week's message for you.
Fellow Grenadians, as leader of His Majesty's Opposition and as a concerned citizen of Grenada, witnessing a crisis that threatens every corner of our nation, I address you today with deep concern. In recent times, we have seen an alarming rise in gun violence and other serious offenses, particularly among our young men. This crisis demands our full attention, our compassion, and our collective resolve. Delaying a comprehensive strategic response only puts the safety and the security of our families at greater risk. When the government introduced the gun amnesty bill, I supported it wholeheartedly, offering anyone in possession of an illegal firearm a chance to surrender without the fear of persecution was indeed a positive step. But this alone cannot solve the deeper problem. A one-time surrender does not address the root causes that drive so many young men to pick up guns in the first place. Only days ago, mere meters away from a church crusade, a young man was shot. A few days before, a bus driver was attacked by a youth in full view of a police officer. This is not a partisan issue. Bullets do not discriminate, and innocent bystanders can pay the price. It is therefore incumbent upon all of us, government, civil society, church leaders, parents, indeed everyone, national and community leaders, to act decisively. But let us not fool ourselves. The government must provide national leadership in this very crucial matter. The government needs to lead a well-coordinated, structured, strategic approach and must provide far more opportunities to positively engage our youth, particularly our young men. I am concerned about a lackluster approach to this growing problem. We need to act, and we need to act now. The government needs to urgently convene all stakeholders, including community representatives, educators, church leaders, social workers, law enforcement officers, and others, without delay, to revisit and fully implement a robust national strategic crime plan. As violence escalates, we must push beyond previous efforts if we are to make a real impact and a real difference. Allow me, therefore, to offer a few immediate imperatives as it relates to this situation. We must expand and strengthen community policing. Our police must become trusted partners in every neighborhood, walking the beat, building relationships, listening to concerns, and intervening before tensions explode. Additionally, we must invest in community-based programs. We must coordinate resources through schools, churches, local organizations, and we must ensure that we expand these programs. After-school programs, mentorship initiatives, ensuring that youth centers, youth-friendly spaces are utilized to the maximum. These can provide purpose, guidance, and a safe space for our children. Let us increase support for rehabilitation and re-entry. When young men are caught in the justice system, they need more than sentencing. They need counseling, skills training, and supervised pathways back into a society so that prison does not become a revolving door. In essence, I'm saying, whatever we are doing, there is an urgency to increase and expand and to ensure that what we are doing is far more effective. Crime is not simply a law and order question. It is a moral and social crisis that thrives on gaps between young men and a mentor, between a struggling family and a counselor, between a weapon and a job opportunity. We must close those gaps with compassion and with courage. We must give families the support that they need by giving youth something to believe in, by giving communities a renewed sense of collective purpose. I wish to speak directly to our young men, those already entangled in crime, especially gun violence. Brothers, I know you face pressure. Most of us cannot fully imagine what you experience. Perhaps you come from a broken home. Perhaps your school felt impossible. Perhaps you lost friends to gangs and violence. Maybe carrying a weapon feels like the only way to protect yourself, to earn respect, or simply to belong. But I ask you today, where does this path lead you? A gun in your hand may feel like protection, but every time you step outside, you are putting your own life and the lives of loved ones at risk. It tears families apart, it shatters futures, and it drags communities into despair. The temporary power of a weapon offer is never worth the permanent scars it leaves. I know you may fear walking away, fear that no one may ever understand, fear of retaliation, fear of the unknown itself. But we, your leaders, families, neighbors, teachers, your friends, we extend to you an open hand. If you put down your guns today, you can spare your mother the agony of a funeral. You can give yourself a fair chance to build a real career, to start a family, and to leave a legacy of hope rather than heartbreak. Seek out someone. Find someone who understands your struggle. A teacher, a community leader, a coach, someone who can show you a different path. Walk away from violence that robs peace and stifles the future of loved ones. Think about your mothers, your fathers, your children, your close loved ones. I implore you to put down your weapons. Think of your future and think about a future with your loved ones. Your life is worth more than a moment of fear or status. So make a wise choice, not just for you, but for your loved ones, for those who care about you, for those who want the best for you. Think about them as you make your choice today. God bless you. God bless Grenada, Carriacou, and Peter Martinique.
Yes, indeed, folks. That was a message from the leader of His Majesty's Opposition, political leader of the New National Party, the Honorable Emlyn Pearce, speaking there on the situation that's taking place. Because I realize that over the past couple of years, we've seen a drastic increase, a dramatic increase in the number of gun crimes taking place within the state of Grenada. No, we are definitely not to the stage of some of the other islands, but considering Grenada's history and considering the fact that last year, the only time that we had more people that died last year by gun violence was the year 1983. And we all know what happened in the year 1983. That was the last time we had so many people dying via gun violence in Grenada. And we had an internal coup taking place and an invasion by US forces. That's to tell you how bad last year was in relation to gun violence. And they can't say that I'm lying because the facts are there. No, we didn't have the same amount as 1983, but it's been the worst year since 1983 in relation to gun violence. And what you're seeing taking place in countries around Grenada right now is amazing. In Trinidad, they're finding significant shipments of arms and ammunition entering the country, some of it shipped from the United States. And we ain't talking about 1 or 2 guns, you're talking about 30-something and 40-something handguns and rifles. And so in Jamaica, they've found 200 and something in one shipment. Plus nearly every day now they're finding 4 or 5. And it's the type of weaponry that they're finding. In Barbados, similar situation exists. In St. Vincent, similar situation exists. In St. Lucia, similar situation exists. St. Kitts, all of them, that they're finding significant amounts of arms and ammunition that are popping up in these countries, and you're having increases in the number of people being killed by gun violence. And you have to take a significant approach. The approach just can't be, well, we had a bring it in thing and we got a few and that's the end of it. No. But what about the mindset was behind the person that brought that person to the point where they thought it was okay to pick up a firearm and leave home and go to one of these things, to go out there and do what they've done? What is being done to address that mindset? Yeah? What is being done to address the mindset of, and I'm looking for something here. Yeah, what is being done to address the mindset of other individuals that are the ones who are bringing in the guns, those who are either selling or whatever, doing different. You have to track these people instead of taking your time to follow Dr. Mitchell going here and you have a vehicle behind him, or Honorable Emlyn Pierre going somewhere and you have a vehicle behind her, or have people in FIU digging up people's bank account and credit union account and all this kind of thing and sharing it with the girlfriend and the boyfriend and them kind of thing. Instead of having those sort of things taking place, these resources should have been used to ensure that we don't end up in a situation with a shootout taking place in the middle of town in the middle of the day. And with some of the things that I'm hearing on the lower level in Grenada there, believe me, those things are possibilities. And I'm not saying this to scare people. I'm saying it because it is the reality of the situation. And Honorable Emlyn Pierre, unlike a single member in the cabinet right now, unlike a single member, and that says a lot, she can speak to this issue with authority. Because in the past, when you had gang violence popping up in Grenada, even in late stages of pregnancy, belly big as Mount Kwakwa, she ain't go like that one. She was out there meeting with the young men and some young ladies, encouraging them to give up that type of lifestyle and get involved in positive activities. And believe me, many, not all, because with these sort of things, you will not get everybody to change their life. But many of those young people are on positive paths right now and can trace all of that back to that engagement with Honorable Emlyn Pierre and the Ministry of Youth at that point in time. And at the point in time, she was Senator Emlyn Pierre. And we were able to go to the blocks. So you had things like the Badness Outer Style and the block program, where you went on the blocks and you meet with the guys. And so because these guys ain't coming and sit down in no meeting. So you had the opportunity, you went out and meet with them and so on. So she was able to interact. So when she speaks on this, she speaks as someone who has done it before, who is still doing it. This is not something that she's just talking about. This is something that she's actively involved in. And even with all the other things she's doing, still takes the time to mentor young people, male as well as female. Still takes the opportunity to check up on some of the young people who were involved in programs that were there before. The program where young people were redirected. Instead of sending them to prison, you send them down to the youth center and you had a program with them where you were doing different things in relation to drugs. You were doing things in relation to emotional intelligence. You were doing academic classes and so on with them. And then that was to evolve into also skills training and job opportunities and so on for these young people. And I still meet some of these young men from time to time, very respectful and everything. So what she's saying there is because it has been done before. And even if you combine the efforts of every single member of the NDC cabinet right now, let me repeat, because it's a fact, even if you combine the efforts of every single member, if there are any efforts of the NDC cabinet right now, you cannot match 1 month of the work that the Honorable Emlyn Pierre has done in relation to youth and youth development and youth empowerment, not just in Grenada, but in the region as well. Because her name is known in every Caribbean island. You can go to the Turks and Caicos, you can go to St. Lucia, you can go to St. Kitts, you can go to Dominica, you can go to St. Vincent. Every single country in the Caribbean region knows of Emmeline Pierre and has received some form of assistance in youth development from Emmeline Pierre. So when people try to give you the impression that, oh, she doesn't have regional contacts, and joke they're making. Joke they're making. You see, sometimes my problem is that she's a bit humble. She's too humble. She wouldn't come out and boast and say, look, I did this and I do that and I do the other and that kind of thing. I see I'm interviewing her and I'm asking questions about those things and she barely even wants to answer it. Because to her, she did that, that's done, that helps some people, and that's the end of it. And when you contrast that now with the people who are in office and the arrogance that they're acting with, because you have so much arrogance without ability when it comes to the NDC administration. Every single one of them has a high level of arrogance. Whether you're speaking about the MP in Carriacou and Petit Martinique, who feels that it's okay to cuss members of the Royal Grenada Police Force and then come and boast, yes, I cuss them. Or to tell teachers, hurricane pass and all you're asking for things and all you're getting pay. Teachers, you know. As if teachers are not human beings too, with emotions and with physical needs and so on, and economic needs. Teachers! It's how you put your face when you say it. Or to see how the MP for Carriacou and Petit Martinique, his facial expressions during the press conference the other day, when serious questions were being asked, that he found it necessary to act like if he was in a playground in a sandpit. The arrogance from these individuals, and then when you try to match up the arrogance with the ability to do the job or a track record of having achieved anything, the only thing they can say they achieve is that they win an election, so they get a seat. They get a one-term. So they could match up and say, yes, I get that. And they get a big salary. That's the achievement. But when you go into the communities and you say, what has this person done in the communities? No, we're not speaking now about as before. What have they done? And you can't get a response. Yet still, these are the most arrogant people. Listen, in the history of politics in Grenada, I do not think I've ever seen, and I've been around for a while, I've never seen a more arrogant bunch in charge. From the Prime Minister down, I've never seen a more arrogant bunch of people. It's the level of arrogance. So the Prime Minister thinks it's okay to stand up in the Parliament and talk about mother hen and this kind of thing, make those kind of statements, and then not even have the decency, the rectitude to stand up afterwards and apologize for making those kind of statements. To him, that's okay, because he's the Prime Minister. Yeah? The Prime Minister believes that it's okay, you don't have to report to the people of Grenada, so we're not going to have a post-cabinet press briefing on a weekly basis, because he's the Minister of Information. He's the one who was speaking about Freedom of Information Act before coming into office, something that is easily doable. Yeah? He was the one who was speaking about, wasn't the NNP speaking about it? He was the one speaking about Freedom of Information Act and all of that. Instead of that, he's done the absolute reverse. In coming into office, he and his team have said to the people that, hey, you can't talk to anybody. And if you do it, you will face consequences, and make all departments, statutory bodies and all, had to sign non-disclosure agreements, so that even if you are working in a government ministry, a government department or division, or a statutory body, and you see corruption happening, you, because you've signed a non-disclosure, are not able to actually go and tell somebody and spill the beans. You can say to somebody in the media, hey, I see corruption going on there, you know. This person receiving that money, that person receiving that, this person getting that and the other. You can't say it because they make you sign a non-disclosure agreement. They forced it on the workers of this country. But these are the same people who come in and say, no, now is the best time and people could speak in the country. And it's the arrogance. Again, it is only arrogance that could make the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance and others feel that they could tell us what we have to do on the 19th of October? That you can't play no music? That you have to go to church and be reverent on that day? Who the hell is them? But it is a level of arrogance. I'm prime minister. I'm minister. I'm the boss. I am the boss. Yeah? So that is how they are operating. They are totally in charge. Let's take this call. Hello, good night.
Hey, good day, Sheldon. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, Sheldon, when I analyze NDC is a group of politicians. They become politicians for one aim, and the aim was to get to become rich overnight. Because when you look at what happening, the everyone want to be agent of the CBI program. Even the members of cabinet, look at the friends and family. Everybody want to become an agent to sell the passport. And I remember one individual was saying that Grenada passport is selling as fish cake, and he now become a member of. He become an agent of selling Grenada passport. And I remember the Prime Minister of St. Vincent said that he has some politicians in the Caribbean. They want to get rich overnight. Right? They want to get rich overnight by making a quick money. And right now, Grenada CBI program is the most corrupt CBI program in the Caribbean.
Hold on, friend. Let's just be careful on that. There are things wrong with the program, but remember, it is still a program that is necessary to the Grenadian people. And if we're making that statement, we might be damaging. Hold on. Okay. Listen to me carefully. You don't want to be damaging a program that can be beneficial to your people. Careful with your statements.
Okay, so I will draw.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So let us. Alright. It's a good program. Alright. It had benefit for the country. But when you look at what is going on CBI, how many projects that from time this government come into governance, they did with the CBI, none. All the program that NC did from the CBI thing is what was started under the NMP. So he have his good, but it come down like the men within the NDC, they only feed enough of the back of the CBI program with selling Grenada passport to enrich themselves. Look at what is going on right now in Brother Sheldon. And you know something that is good, and it could be good, but it's not what people turn it to be. I want to call upon the Grenadian people. We need to get rid of this NDC government ministers. We need to get rid of them because they don't care about you, the poor people, the senior people of Greater Carriacou Peter Mad. As he was saying just now, I remember the situation with Honorable MP when she was a senator. When she go out in the highway and byway, when the gangs and them was raging, and sit down and speak to the young people to come together, right? And when you want to compare the political leader right now, Emily Pay, she did a lot. She have a good track record, and she's well known through the Caribbean. Brother Sheldon, have a blessed night.
All right, my brother. Thank you so very much. Okay. Yes, indeed. And I'll just stop the caller there because of this. Grenada's CBI program has been one of the best CBI programs anywhere. It's the gold standard. What we have happening now is that we have a group of individuals in power who are damaging the program. I would not go as far as to say it is the most corrupt, but I would say that there is corruption taking place inside there. So don't get it twisted. There is corruption taking place in Grenada's CBI program. You had a suspension recently, and we're going to get into that in a little while. You had a suspension taking place recently of an individual who is accused of various bits of wrongdoing. And I'm going to get into that in a little while. Yeah? But Grenada's CBI program has been the gold standard, and that was under the New National Party. The situation you have now is that, one, the Prime Minister is the owner of a CBI company as a local agent. He may have placed his shares in trust, but he's still the person who is going to benefit. When he leaves office, he collects his shares and his share of the money and everything. His money's still going there, into the company. So that company should have been stricken off the list if he wants to even give the appearance of no corruption taking place. His company should have been stricken off the list. But no, he wants it there. And he is the minister in charge of CBI. Let me repeat, the Prime Minister is the minister in charge of the Citizenship by Investment Program. Yeah? His treasurer within his political organization is a CBI agent. These are the same people that were telling us that all the laws in relation to CBI had to change, and you have to take out this law and you have to take out that law, and all sort of things need to change in relation to CBI, because they gave the impression that so many wrong things were taking place under CBI, under the new National Party. Yeah? They were giving the impression that NNP was doing the worst when it came to CBI. Yet still, you have a Minister of Finance who is the substantive minister who provides the concessions to the people who are doing CBI projects in Grenada, the developers. So a developer works along with local agents and marketing agents to get people. The marketing agents find the people, they get them to the local agent. The local agent works along. You want to go into this program, this hotel is being built, you want to be part of that program, and so on. And the person who is also a local agent is the Minister of Finance, and he's also the person giving concessions to the developer. Do you see the avenue for corruption taking place there? Do you recognize that corruption is not just the act, but the perception? Yeah? They say the law must be done and seen to be done. In the law, it says not just something wrong, in Integrity Act. That is not just that you're actually doing something wrong, but the perception that you are doing something wrong is wrong too. So that you ought to avoid those conflicts, so that those sort of perceptions don't take place. When you have a minister that could do, let me see, add something here. Let me see if I could find something and play it here. When you have a minister that could do things like, let me see, where this thing is there? Yeah, right. Let me play something for you all here.
St. George Northeast, once again, I'm standing here advocating for you. As we can see, I'm standing in the infamous bus stop, a small project that was started by the MP to benefit the people of St. George Northeast. But obviously, we can see it's still not completed. Clearly, all we see here is garbage right now. This bus stop was supposed to benefit the people in the area, but the MP went about it the wrong way and did not get the requisite permission from the owners, and as we know, it ended up in court. Subsequently, the owners would have won the litigation, but there was still room for the project to continue, and the MP could have had a dialogue with them. Here we are, project still incomplete, no benefits to the people, and it makes you wonder. A small project as a bus stop, a simple thing as a bus stop, could not get finished by December. Let's hope he has some time now to work on some other stuff in the constituency, because as we know, he was relieved of his cabinet position to go to school. At this time, he probably should be finished with school, or maybe school finished with him. We are not sure. Let's hope that he has some time to put some effort into the community so that the constituents can benefit. There was one project that was completed in the area. The MP was able to complete the driveway leading up to his residence. Politics, as we know it, is about taking.
So yeah, the man was able to complete the road leading up to your residence. Nice road. So the rest all in Northeast, I hope I'll get a road like that too, because you make sure the one going up by he fix. But anyhow, let me finish here this.
You have to take care of the people before you take care of you personally. And it saddens the constituents, because they're the ones that bring in these things to my attention, that they can benefit from the bus stop, but yet the MP could benefit from a smooth driveway leading up to his house. St. George Northeast, you deserve better. We need someone that cares about the people and put the people first.
Yes, indeed. Yes. You see, again, the arrogance. I'm the minister. I could go and fix my road going up by me. Well, I don't care if you're going up in a track or a gravel thing. We go deal with that after, but fixing myself first. So he go and make sure that the road leading to his residence is fixed first. And he was making sure that the bus stop, so if you had to drop off and you had to make a little run up by him, you understand? If you had to drop off and make a little run, quick up, just cross the road and you're up the road by him. Was making sure that the bus stop is built right across the road by him. And it's the arrogance in doing that, because he was doing it in a way that, hey, I don't care if you own the land. I'm the government. I could just take your land. That's the impression. That I'm the government. I could just take your land and I could do as I feel like, and that sort of thing. And that is the problem that we have been having. That is the issue that we have been having with this group of individuals and their behavior. It is the constant behavior, the constant belief that, hey, we in charge and we could just do as we feel like. So we could cuss police, we could build road going up to we place if we feel like it, yeah? We could decide we're not living in the Prime Minister's residence and we're going to spend $20-something thousand. I hope it's coming out of their pocket, but it's not according to the budget. We could spend $20-something thousand and pay for a different residence because that one too, you see the arrogance, eh? That one ain't good enough for us. And still not have the decency to come to the Grenadian people and say, okay, the plan is this. We are going to rebuild it and we're going to make it into the Prime Minister's residence and diplomatic center or whatever. They don't even have the decency to come and say that. They go run and say it no because I've said it. But you know that it's here, you hear it, and they never heard it from them. It's just to hell us all you. We ain't care. We, as the Prime Minister, forget that, as the Prime Minister, you know, and I go in and live where I feel I supposed to be living and not going and live down there in between them people and them. I don't want to be living in that kind of location. That's how they class it. That kind of location. So it seems as though there are that kind of locations in Grenada and that there are our kind of locations in Grenada. So there seems to be some sort of separation. That location is not good enough for them. The arrogance. And you see it throughout the entire thing. You see it with each and every one of them. So it's okay, just build the driveway. That is not nice. Build it. Build the bus shed. Why? Them feel them could fight me in court. That's the business. I could just say there's an NP and that is it, and that is why they're fighting me. And so no, it is their property. You can't just take the people's property like that. Yes, you could go through the courts and take it for national development, but I mean, come on. We have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Hey, Sheldon.
Hey, what go?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, I'm hearing you, man. You go ahead. I'm waiting on you. You go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't hearing you. Hey, where the Prime Minister is living, they have a Prime Minister resident for all Prime Ministers of the country to live in. Isn't that true?
Yes, they do. It's called Mount Royal. It's been utilized since the 1970s, I believe.
Yes, because I know when I used to live back home, this Mount Royal Day, I even visit Mount Royal myself. So what is the significance that the Prime Minister have to be renting a private individual residence, which he's paying how much thousands of dollars a month? So we want to know now where this money coming from to pay this individual this amount of money at the end of every month.
It's coming from taxpayers. If you check the budget document, you would see it there. It's coming from taxpayers.
Yes, I know that, but so what is the law will be implementing to stop this thing from happening? Because remember, if you calculate $20,000 a month, calculate that by 365 days a year.
24, eh?
So how many?
24.
Yes. So how many money? Leaving the treasury, which could have done works. This little girl now who have this complicated situation that have to travel to the United States, he could have taken a cut out of that and give to these people to travel to the United States instead of giving the individual to put in his pocket. So with this corruption now, I want to come out to the people and tell them what is corruption from what is not corruption. So isn't that big time corruption?
My brother, that is not just corruption, it is arrogance. And I want people to understand, we're dealing with the most arrogant set of individuals ever in the history of politics in Grenada. I thought I saw arrogance before, but believe me, this is the most arrogant group of individuals I've ever seen holding the reins of office in Grenada. Never seen it.
Man, I don't know what happened to say to these people and them. Something's wrong with them. Something totally wrong with them. From top to bottom, believe it or not.
And look, even if the NNP, a political organization that on 3 occasions won every seat, they won it. They didn't thief it. They didn't stick up gun and take it. They won it. The people of Grenada said that's the best team, and they gave them the job. And on the first occasion, gave them 14 out of the 15. That time, Dr. Mitchell was the general secretary. gave them 14 of the 15 seats. So, and a lot of people tend to forget that one. But it says,
Well,
it says a lot about the
I don't
NNP.
forget.
Go ahead.
Wait, no, you go ahead. You go ahead after you finish.
Yeah, no,
I don't want to trip
I'm
you off.
saying, even with all of that, you have never seen that level of arrogance from the new National Party. You've never seen it. Yeah? You've never seen the level of arrogance you see now. Cost police and then come back and vote. How are you sitting down in a Keith Mitchell cabinet, sorry? How are you sitting down in the cabinet after in fact, you ain't even getting a chance to boast that you cost the police. From the time you cost the police, there would have been consequences.
Sheldon, old people have a word they're saying, charity begins at home, charity begins at home. So anyway, somebody go and the reaction that they give to the public is the same reaction they give at the home. Charity begins at home. If you have a bad dog in your house and they have a leash in its neck and they walk the street, it will still make noise behind anybody you meet. Simple. Well, anyway, I seen my queen, my fourth queen, traveling to the parish, and she looking good, man. That's the fourth queen we have, eh?
Oh, you're speaking the air traffic controller?
Yeah, the queen from St. David's.
Yeah, no, we call her...
The caretaker.
No,
the caretaker.
We don't refer to her like that. We refer to Nolene Thompson as the air traffic controller because she grung real flights, because right now the Prime Minister, he ain't leaving the country at all. Right now, he ain't taking no plane. All flights grounded.
I call her the fourth queen. I call her the fourth queen. The fourth queen. That's the fourth queen we have. And she have to listen. Tell her that she gotta have a meeting in the grounds, eh? She gotta have a meeting in St. David's.
Yes, she will
and bring it live.
She will be.
Bring it live. Yeah, bring it live. I want to look at it. Bring it live.
She will be doing that. I can guarantee you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. She had to do it sooner than later. Yeah, man. Well, take care, my brother.
All right. Thank you so very much, bro.
All right.
Yeah, we refer to Nolene as the air traffic controller. That's the nickname. Yeah, the air traffic controller. Because since Nolene Thompson has been launched as the new National Party caretaker, the MP, all of a sudden, he's sticking Grenada. January, he go for the most of January, Andy was the Prime Minister. Most of February, most of March, most of April, Andy Williams was the Prime Minister of Grenada. But all of a sudden, Andy ain't getting a bly again, but the man staying here right through. He can't go. He taking day and he making night. He going and visit people place all after 9 and 10 in the night. He going and visit people place. He afraid to leave the country right now. He afraid. Nolene Thompson grung all flights. All flights are grounded. Yeah? You're arrogant. A whole 3 years. Arrogant, arrogant, arrogant. And the thing is, arrogant without ability or a body of work behind it to say, I have done or I have achieved. There is no way, anybody with common sense, and let's forget even common sense, anybody with sense, plain sense, forget common sense, but just plain normal sense, anybody with sense could never make a statement that the NDC in the last 3 years has done more than the NNP ever did. That person has to be on crack cocaine and heroin mixed with fentanyl. Anybody making that statement has to be a crackhead. Seriously. They have to be a crackhead. Because they are not living in reality. They have to be living in a drug-induced utopia. They cannot be living in reality. To even try and make the comparison is laughable at most. So nobody with sense, and we know a lot of them who are making the statement don't have sense, so we don't expect better. And you see, that is why I am not easily disappointed. Because there are certain people that I expect certain things to come out their mouth and certain behaviors. So when they say it, I'm not like, oh, how they could say that? Or, oh, how they could do that? I expect that from them. I know that's who they are and that's what they are. Yeah? So when you hear them make those statements, you expect that. They have nothing better to say. They're just grasping at straws. Everywhere they're passing in tongue, people just doing them that and they're feeling people telling them okay, not realizing people telling them one term. Yeah? So they know what they're saying is not true. But they're saying it nonetheless. And then you have other people that are parroting it, and especially the younger people that are starting to parrot it off of what some of the people who acting like crackheads are saying. You have some of the younger people that are starting to parrot that because in their instance, they don't know better. Yeah? They've only started to follow what's going on in the country and follow politics and follow national development in the last 3 years, some of them. That's when they start to follow. And then they come to tell you, all of a sudden they are the experts in relation to political science, economics, infrastructural development, Grenadian history, everything. All of a sudden they're experts in relation to all of those areas. And they're coming to speak down to you in relation to issues, and I just had to stop some of them. Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. And correct them the same way that on Friday night, yes, we did have a Friday night program for those of you that missed it. No, we're not having a Friday night program this week. We have a goal to reach there. If on the YouTube chat, if we reach that goal, we're going to have, if we reach that goal tonight, if you all make those donations tonight and we reach that goal, then we'll have a Friday night program. Other than that, no Friday night program. Yeah. So I'm saying that when it comes to the young people, we had to correct the thing, the nonsense a guy was speaking about the chicken farm. We had to come and show $500,000 were put out of Petro-Caribbean fund into the then Bank of Nova Scotia with Jude Bernard and others as the signatories to that account for the Grenada Poultry, whatever the Farms Limited or whatever the name of the company was. When you heard the full story in relation to the poultry farm, NDC people should be the last people to mention anything about it, because under their administration, not only the destruction, but that quote-unquote money, $500,000 was taken out of Petro-Caribbean and given towards a poultry project in St. Mark. And the signatories to the account was their people, not NNP people. The person who was in charge of the poultry farm said that NNP operated in a most fair and transparent manner with them. That's the person who was in charge of the poultry project, and he was the general secretary of the NDC and campaign manager in 2008. God bless his soul, he's gone to the great beyond, Mr. Curtis Batiste. So when they're speaking about fowl farm and thing, the young people take that up now and they run with it. Yes, NNP wastes all the money in the fowl farm. So you sit them down and you say, okay, explain to me how NNP wasted money in the fowl farm. Well, I don't know. I hear, well, you're repeating it, so you should know. You should know. You're repeating it. Well, I hear the Tifa said, no, but you're saying it. So explain to us where the New National Party wasted money in the fowl farm. You had $1.3 million was allocated in the year 2003. The full amount was not drawn down by the time of Hurricane Ivan in 2004. The project fell into difficulty. In 2004, during Hurricane Ivan, there were loan facilities that were organized before the hurricane that the company, Sunset Enterprises Limited, did not draw down on, because they couldn't draw down on it by that point in time. Hurricane Ivan come and mash up the whole place. And then you had Exim Bank and those sort of things that the government had to make a decision. Do you focus on housing, schools, police stations, medical centers, rebuilding Grenada? Or do you focus on giving the fowl farm how much $1 million to go and build a fowl farm? And the choice was obvious. You don't even have to sleep on that one. Yeah? All of that was said. So the full information in relation to it is there. But yet still you have some idiotic people out there. And as I say, these people, some of them don't know the truth. And if you challenge them on it, they can't answer. They cannot answer you on it if you challenge them directly on these things. They are unable to hold a conversation and give you a historical background. They just hear something and they take it and they run with it, and that becomes their reality. It's like they've got no critical thinking skills. You just tell them something and they believe it. Yeah? When people like myself are able to prove to them that they don't know what they're talking about. We have the present situation where there is a clear and present attempt by the present administration to distance themselves from one Mr. Colin Bishop. They're trying their very best to distance themselves from the guy, you know. Papa, they're trying. Yeah? I think this picture even disappeared from the man Instagram as well. Let me show you the picture. Yeah, let me bring up the picture. I think that picture even disappeared from the man Instagram, because that is Mr. Colin Bishop here. That's the man who is accused he's being involved in all sorts of illegal activities regarding Grenada's CBI. And you see who he next to? He bosom buddy, man. Partner. You understand? He partner. That picture disappears. Just like every time you pull up a picture and you think, you have to pull them picture fast, because one thing this NDC administration love to do, they love to delete stuff. They love to edit stuff, and they like to get rid of stuff quick. When they realize something happening and people get hold of that, they like to get rid of it quick, but all ain't quick enough. Folks, let me just read this one for you. Circular number 7 of 2025. Suspension of Reef View Enterprises Limited as local agent under the Grenada Citizenship by Investment Program. The Investment Migration Agency, they call it IMA, I still say CBI, under the direction of the Citizenship by Investment Committee. And let me make it clear, pay attention here. So the IMA, under the direction of the Citizenship by Investment Committee, hereby notifies all stakeholders that effective 6th June 2025, Reef View Enterprises Limited has been suspended from operating as a local agent until further notice under the Grenada Citizenship by Investment Program. The action was taken following the committee's review of serious breaches of the agent's obligations, including the alleged misappropriation of investor funds and other conduct deemed detrimental to the integrity of the program. Our investigation began in March. Are we in June? In March 2025, so why didn't you suspend in March if it was in March? You wanted them to get a couple million still in between then. But anyway, our investigation began in March 2025, and this decision was made in the interest of preserving the integrity, transparency, and proper administration of the CBI program. Key points. Reef View Enterprises Limited is no longer authorized to submit applications or represent clients under the program. 2. All active and pending applications previously held by Reef View Enterprises Limited are currently under review. Going forward, the designated marketing agent for each file will be contacted directly regarding the next steps for file transition, investor communication, and continued processing under the program. The IMA will continue working directly with associated marketing agents to ensure continuity of service and safeguard all legitimate applications. Please note that formal revocation proceedings have been initiated under Section 4(6) of the Citizenship by Investment Act 2013. We urge all marketing agents, developers, hold on the call. I read it. Hold on the call. Sorry, I know some of you kind of getting the thing after the thing I'm reading, so I'll get back to you. We urge all marketing agents, developers, and service providers to refrain from engaging with Reef View Enterprises Limited in any CBI matters effective immediately. For assistance with transitioning affected applications or clarifying agency status, please contact us at. The agency remains committed to the high standards of due diligence, investor protection, and regulatory compliance. We thank you for your continued cooperation and support. That's signed by Mr. Thomas Anthony, Chief Executive Officer of Grenada's Investment Migration Agency. All right? Yeah, so we've seen what is said there. So they have suspended Reef View, and let's see who Reef View is. Reef View is the same gentleman, Mr. Colin, who we see in the picture with the Prime Minister there. That is his company. Let's just make a quick Google search here. Yeah, Reef View. Hey, one to you, man. Not data type. Reef View Enterprises. Yeah, let's use that. Yeah, Reef View Enterprises Limited. Let me see if that's the right thing. Oh dear. All of a sudden, their page no longer exists. Folks, yeah, this page that was active up to last week, all of a sudden, this is what has happened with Reef View Enterprises. They're making improvements, so you can't access their page anymore. Huh? You cannot access that page anymore. So let's see if there are other tags in relation to it online. Yeah? All right, and I'm trying to find other tags in relation to it online, and it seems as though those have disappeared. Yeah. Yes, indeed. So let's go to Now Grenada. Now Grenada, license for local CBI agents suspended. Yeah, and this is just the 7th of June, just 2 days ago. And there you see Mr. Colin Bishop. That is the same picture we had there just so, they just cropped the picture. That is him there together with the Prime Minister, you understand? Yeah, so he's the man in charge of review enterprises. But there's something even more interesting there. Folks, here, they speak of the formal revocation proceedings have been initiated under Section 4(6) of the Citizenship by Investment Act. And they have said that that has been initiated by the IMA under the direction of the Citizenship by Investment Committee. I will tell you that that can't happen. Section 4, let's go to Section 4. This is the Grenada Citizenship by Investment Act 2013. Section 4 here, subsection 6. Let's go to subsection 6. It says, the minister, the minister may revoke. It doesn't say the IMA may revoke. It does not say that the committee may revoke. They have no power to revoke. The committee, the committee who is speaking of revoking here, the Investment Migration Agency under the direction of the Citizenship by Investment Committee hereby notifies all stakeholders, right? They have no power to revoke. The power to revoke is the minister. And who is the minister? Who is the minister? That is the individual that has the power to revoke. That is who has the power to revoke the license of is Paliwali. He is the minister. He has the power to revoke the license of his Paliwali. But here, we are being told via circular number 7 of 2025 that that was done by the IMA under the direction of the committee. That can't be. The committee can make recommendations in relation to certain things. The revocation has to come from the minister. And they're so weird. They actually quote the law, They quote the same law. Let me make it big so you could see what I'm talking about and know that I ain't just saying things. Yeah? The minister may revoke the license of any agent granted a license pursuant to the provisions of this act if he reasonably believes that the agent's performance does not meet the required standard, in particular if the ability, resources, blah, 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 of the agent has fallen below the fee and remains unpaid for 14 days, requirements of section 3 have not been complied with, and da. Before revoking any license under subsection 6, the minister shall give the agent concerned notice in writing. Did the Prime Minister, as the minister in charge of the CBI, give notice in writing to Mr. Colin Bishop? Serve that the registered office or other local address provided pursuant to section 3 of his or her intention to do so, specifying therein the grounds upon which he or she proposes to make the revocation, and shall require the agent to submit to him or her within a specified period, being not less than 30 days, a written statement of objections to the making of the revocation, and therefore the minister shall advise the agent of his or her decision. So when they send out a circular basically saying that it's the IMA that has revoked, all you lie. Either all you lie, or all you don't know the law, or don't know what all you're doing, or you all are trying to protect him. Because the accusation is that him, Mr. Colin Bishop, was telling people that he can get them their CBI citizenship because he is good friends with him. And even if you applied and you didn't get through, that he would be able to speak to him and people around him to get that revoked. So in other words, they decided they're not giving you your CBI citizenship, that he would simply just make a call to his Paliwali or get one of his people around his Paliwali to talk, and we don't know. I'm stating we don't know if money pass in situations like that for that sort of influence to be taking place, because in lots of instances with these kind of things, we hear that money does pass. In many instances, similar instances, we hear that money does pass in them thing because he was collecting money that is accused that he did not pay up and the people looking for him for the money. In fact, we heard of the Russian pipeline, and right now we're hearing that many of the people under the Russian pipeline are searching for him. Yes, certain elements are searching for him because they paid him to get certain things done that were not done. And he has directly implicated him. So now in the international circles, you're hearing that when it comes to Grenada's CBI program, that this individual has scammed, that's the word that's being used, scammed, conned, quite a significant number of people out of hundreds of thousands of dollars in USN or EC. And that complicit in that act is him. That's the accusation. Who just happens to be the minister. The same minister who ought to be doing the revocation according to this act. The same minister who is supposed to be doing the revocation according to this act. What do you think go? Where's section 6 go there? Hey, section, no, we not down there. Yeah. Yeah? Let me pull this back. I think I've gone too far. Right. Section 5.6. Section 4.6, sorry. Yeah? So that we know that the minister is the person who is supposed to make the revocation. Under section 4 and part, let me just make sure I get the exact part here again. Right, 4.6, right, so that's 4 and 6, right? So we know that under this, no, I'm still getting the wrong thing here. I just had it, and I misplaced it. Yeah, 4, that's why I'm on 5. Right. So under 6 here, the minister may revoke. So we know that the minister is the Prime Minister of Grenada, who is supposed to revoke this guy's local agent status. The Prime Minister of Grenada is the minister with responsibility for the CBI program. He, and only he, and let me repeat, and only him, this law doesn't make any provision for any other agency or anybody else to revoke the status of that person as a local agent. It makes only provision for the minister. It doesn't say the minister and the CBI agency and the IMA and the committee. It says the minister is the person that has the ability to make the revocation. In my view, the IMA is trying to protect the minister. So they're talking about them making the revocation. This picture, as I said, has suddenly disappeared online. Yeah, suddenly disappear online. Let me open back the phone lines. Yeah, folks, you can call now. Yeah, I've opened back the phone lines. But I want to get that one out of it because, again, it all has to do with the same thing that I've been speaking about for the longest while. Hey, arrogance. Is the arrogance of these individuals that you can't even ask them questions in relation to those things. Some people look at the NDC press conference that they had last week. And I don't know how NDC people could be clapping and supporting that because the level of arrogance from everyone there, from the 3 of them at the head table, are watching you in your eye and talk to you. Are watching you, watch the integrity committee in the eye and talk to them because that's where you gotta go. Because you know what the woman is saying is fact. You know what the woman is saying is fact and based on fact. Yet still, you chose to lie to the public. You, Mr. Andy Williams, you chose to lie to the public. But we expect better. So it's not surprising to me. And it ought not to be surprising to people. I mean, all you know, Andy, we expect that. You expect it, yeah? We expected that, isn't it? We didn't expect better. We know that. Yeah? Right. 1473-440-7377. 1473-440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. And let me just take a look at some of the comments. As I said, I will be trying my very best each night to try and go through some of the comments. So if you want to say something, you can say it in the comments there. I haven't taken a look at the comments for a little while, so I'm just trying to pull it back up now so that I can. Yeah. I'm just trying to pull it back up now so I can get the comments on both Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, hey, stop making noise there. So again, 1473-440-7377. That's the number for you to get onto it. They could never like me. Yeah, pull it back up now. Right, yeah, so that you stay quiet, boy. Nice, right, yeah. Hoshimodi. Right. Yeah. Now, I'm repeating that one. Now looking to put me in trouble. That is exactly what we're calling Nolene Thompson. She's the air traffic controller. Yeah? Nice. Mr. Nimrod Oliver, people say how you could tell the man like school finished with him. So my goodness. All right. Let me see here. Okay, we have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Hey, good night, brother Sheldon.
Hey, how you do?
I'm all right, thanks. And how are you?
I'm quite fine. You go right ahead.
All right. Yes. You know, I'm wondering, as you play that clip there tonight. You know, I'm reminded of the way that the Grenadian people, some of them, had behaved with the NNP administration some years ago. The said former Minister of Finance, right? Maybe Mr. Battis, could not Battis, but this gentleman with the CBI thing there. Maybe
Mr. Bishop.
Yeah. Yes, maybe that particular former finance minister could advise him how to get away from the Russians. You know.
Yes, you mean when it used to SSU all through the hills of ice?
yes, you gotta do that. And how come the people are not raising their voices now? When there was something around Charles Lou. That time I could remember the former PRO, right? Was a big guy with that CBI agency that represented or that Mr. Charles Lou. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Was that the Koana Bay?
No, that was Koana Bay was separate to Charles Lou.
Okay, well, anyway, the Charles Lou guy.
Mm-hmm.
And how they wanted to hit the street and they jump up and they rant and so on, So why is it that they are so quiet now? Why is it? Because it's NDC? Because it's NDC under the Honorable Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell?
Not only that, my friend, it's due to the level of arrogance by the individuals. They believe we in charge, we in power, we could do as we want. Nobody is supposed to say anything. If they suspect anything under our government, they shouldn't say anything, and they can't do anything, and everybody just have to hush up because we in charge, we win the election, and we in charge now. That's how they are.
Yeah, well, that attitude is enough to have them pack and go when next election, because the Grenadian people, they are very intelligent people. They don't mix matter. They don't mix matters, and they might not be so vocal, with reference to standing against the way that they're behaving, because they realize that whatever we say to them, as you said, that they're in charge. So they put up, they like the shack or the ray, set up his defense and ready to attack. So let them alone. Just let's continue doing the work. Just continue doing and that caretaker that we have in St. David's, that caretaker, she's doing such a wonderful job. I'm sorry at times I can't even go out with her because I'm busy. These things in the neck of my woods and so forth. But the point is here
get a reflective vest for her because she's doing a good job as an air traffic controller. So get a reflective vest for her.
Yes. So finally, as before I go, I've been taking a peep at the what's the name, Mount Sinai shutting down the operation in New York, New York City. And what I realized is that that the reason why that they had to shut down is because they had a minimized of the amount of persons visiting, and that they had financial difficulties. So what will make Mount Sinai Teaching Hospital, or whatever they call it, coming to Grenada a success? You know, that's a $1 million question for them, for Ms. Anderson Bonnet.
Remember, a multi-million-dollar question is if Mount Sinai legally, according to U.S. law, and I pointed out on this program the law, I'll bring it again because sometimes I'm getting the complaint from some people and it is valid, because unlike other people, I like to listen when my listeners and viewers speak. That sometimes I pick up an issue, I speak about the issue, and then I drop it. So I will bring back the documentation in relation to Mount Sinai and why it is very possible that Mount Sinai, it would be illegal for them in U.S. law to be able to work with the Ministry of Health of Grenada while there are Cuban nationals working in the system.
Okay, so Brother Sheldon, what is our government take or response to the U.S. authority, the federal, and so on, with regards to the Cuban workers here in the health system? What is
the U.S. government has been very clear in relation to that. In fact, in the meeting that the Prime Minister attended, the issue came up a couple times. The U.S. is very clear. They see the Cuban medical professionals working in Grenada and the rest of the Caribbean as basically slave labor and human trafficking. That's what they see them as. In their minds, they believe that these workers, they are not paid directly. They believe that their monies, what percentage of it has to be sent directly to the Cuban government and so on. So they are seeing that as human trafficking. They have said it. They have sent out a notice in relation to it. They have warned Caribbean leaders about it, and they will take action in relation to it. Because remember, the person who is the Minister of State, the responsibility of that with the U.S. government, is the grandson of a Cuban emigre. So he has his own chip on his shoulder in relation to that. So he's not going to leave that one alone.
Right. But then another point here, Brother Sheldon, is that it is alleged that the closure of that branch of the Mount Sinai hospital was also as a result of legal challenges that they had long-running legal battles, with some community group, who had fought to keep that hospital group, open. So what about that? And I think they have to, because if there are some legal implications, right, to the Mount Sinai thing, why is it that they're so pushy or shovey? Why they are so running to come to Grenada to do this? Our friend, Prime Minister doesn't know that.
If they're seeing that they can make a couple $1 million off of Grenada, they're gonna come.
And if you notice, they want it now. They want the money run now. No.
My friend, this one leaves a lot more questions than answers. I've heard I've heard some individuals refer to it in a name that I wouldn't call it, but basically this isn't on the up and up, and it is something that's some more investigation, and we have to bring up again. The listeners have said that I'm bringing up issues, I deal with it, and then I drop it, and I don't go back to it again for a long time, and I need to continue speaking about some issues over and over and over.
Yes, sir.
The listeners' command is my command. They tell me do it, I have to do it. So I'll bring that up again this week.
All right, so let's stay on it. All right,
my brother. Thank you so very much for your call.
You're welcome,
have a wonderful one. All right.
You too. Yeah.
Folks, and that is all the time we actually have here. It's after 10. Yeah, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. You all wouldn't believe it. I nearly didn't do the show. 7 o'clock is when I decided I definitely will do the show for tonight. I nearly didn't do. I couldn't do you all that. No. I mean, I did the Friday night, but I couldn't do you all that because then remember tomorrow night, with the meeting taking place in, and let me just remind you all of that meeting too. Where is it? Come on. Yeah, let me just remind you all of that meeting that's taking place tomorrow. And for some reason, I just not remembering where that meeting is. Yes, so that meeting is in Florida. That's in St. John, Florida, at Florida Junction. So that meeting that's taking place tomorrow, right? Due to that, I am not sure. I am hoping that it finishes by 9. Once it finishes by 9, we will do. If it does not complete by 9 and it goes even by a 10, 15 minutes after, it doesn't make sense. Yeah? So that is taking place tomorrow at there. And then remember, we have the other meeting that will be taking place. This one is in Leicester in Carriacou, and this one is taking place on Thursday. So on both days, Talking Points will be broadcasting the meetings. And because we're broadcasting the meetings, it may mean that we have 2 days we may not have program. I am looking at the Friday. As I say, if all you donate, we do in the Friday. If all you ain't donate, we not doing the Friday. Yeah? You all have the GoToFet, and you all have the chat on the YouTube that you could donate. If you all don't donate, no Friday program. If you donate, Friday program, because it takes certain things to ensure that the Friday program can happen. So we need the donations in relation to that. And we have some other things that we need to get done as well. All right, folks, so remember that meeting tomorrow, for those of you in St. John and surrounding areas, that takes place from 6:30 tomorrow at Florida Junction in St. John. New National Party team up to bat. Our political leader, our chairman, Dr. Clarice Modest-Cohen will be there, Mr. Alvin Dabri will be there, and Mandy, will be there as well, Amanda Japal George. And once again, folks, that's all the time we have for the program tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. In everything you say and do it safe and secure. Want to be speaking to and with you and not about you. And please, in everything you do, do not allow yourself to become arrogant. If you see me getting arrogant, shut me down. Tell me, sheldon, no, that is not you. Use the guy we know that's go in town and go buy Cami and sit down and drink a beer. Use the man we know that's go anywhere and hang out with anybody and go all over the place. Anytime you see me starting to get arrogant, you all are the gatekeepers to push me back into my box and say, that's not how it does behave. Behave yourself. Catch yourself. Yeah? Because look at the people that we have in charge of the country now. Look at the arrogance with those individuals. And that arrogance without any ability to actually get the job done. Folks, have a wonderful night tonight.